how you doing? Welcome to another episode of How the Freak Am I Gonna Do That? Projects with Chaz. Today we've got an automotive project. That's why I wore my high performance hat, because we're working on a high performance car. Just joking. Actually, it's a 2004 Passat Volkswagen station wagon. It's got 235,000 miles and it's a freaking champ. But it does not have heat. So the heater core is shot, and I am going to bypass the heater core. I know there's a lot of you out there that probably have the same problem. I'm going to show you the quick fix on how to pull the hoses off the heater core, loop it around, and bypass the heater core. Because pulling the dash is like a big job. There's guys out on the internet that have videos that show how to do it. I just don't have time right now, so I'm going to bypass it, and maybe I'll put the link to their videos in my video, and you guys can figure that out on your own at a later time. So why don't you follow me to the hood here and we'll get started. Okay, for full disclosure, I did this job about 2 weeks ago, and I'm recording it now because I wanted to make sure that everything that I did held up, so I'm not passing on bad info. So it's held up, no coolant leaks, and I'm gonna show you how I got to it, what I did, and you can figure it out after that. Alright, so this is the floor mat, passenger side. The heater core is up in here behind this dash. And this is soaking wet to the touch. If you can see my hand, it's like freaking oily, greasy. That's coolant. So it's basically dripping down and just flooding my floor. You're going to want to wipe this up or get a new floor mat so you can tell it's pink. Volkswagens use the pink coolant, and that's what that is. Actually, it looks like a wipe after one of my kids when they're little changing a diaper, but that's coolant today. One of the reasons I started investigating what's going on and determined it was my heater core is because this reservoir kept going empty. If you take this cap off, you should be able to see your coolant at the minimum, between the minimum and maximum line. It's pretty much where this lip is on this thing. For Volkswagen people, go get this at O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's the pink stuff, the G40. It's a lot cheaper than buying at the dealers. But for all of you other people, check your manual or ask somebody at a parts store what kind of coolant you need. Alright, to have easier access to the heater core in and out spout or in and out whatever, you need to get this thing off. In and out hoses, tubes, ports, whatever you want to call it. This thing on my car is just kind of wedged in here. So you just kind of rip it out. Yeah, no screws or clips, it's just sitting there. Throw that aside. Okay, I'm gonna try to film this while some jackass must be mowing the entire neighborhood, because he's been going for like an hour, and I got squirrels, hawks, gerbils, everything making noise, so bear with me, people. Here's a close-up. That's the heater core pipes coming out of the firewall. Those are the existing hoses. I bought these two connectors. They're like male on each end, and they go into the opening of these radiator hoses. And I bought this U hose at the parts store, and then the two clamps. These two clamps were already on the heater core. And if you're wondering about air pockets, I talked to a bunch of different people. They said there's only a few makes and models that you have to worry about that this is high enough where if there is an air bubble, it'll probably eventually burn itself out or wear itself out. I did this project 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago. I've been driving on it and I have not had a problem. Been monitoring the engine heat and everything seems to be copacetic. I don't have heat in the car, but I can run this puppy without filling this up every week, which is what I was doing. That's what I call do it yourself and save a buck. These clamps, you can either use a Like my clamp takes a, what is this? I can't even read it. A 5/16 nut driver. Hey, nut driver. So that fits on here. Or you can just use a regular screwdriver. Cinch them up. Don't go too tight or you'll break this plastic connector. So after you get your hoses connected up, your little U bypass hose, you're going to want to make sure that your coolant is between the minimum and maximum. I use a funnel because I don't want to have this drain all over the driveway, have my dog lick it. The next thing I know, he's taking a dirt nap and I got to get him stuffed. Best not to leak this on the driveway. So I'm where I need to be. Next step is to put this back on. It basically just kind of slides into place and you got to put this rubber around the lip. Every car is probably different. But I'll start her up and we'll see what happens. Actually, I know what happens because I've been running this for 2.5 weeks. You need to start your car up, see what happens. Make sure you don't have any leaks and enjoy driving your car around until you can get that heater core fixed. Okay, I'm going to start the car. You guys keep an eye on that hose. Make sure that I didn't jostle it loose and it's going to shoot all over the place. Here we go. Alright. No leaks. It's a winner. Coolant's just bypassing the heater core and coming up and over and back into the engine. Make sure you don't touch the fan belt. It might chop off your fingers and I'll have to call you nubs. Alright kids, another successful projects with Chaz. We bypassed that heater core. Not a big deal. Anybody can do it. Hey, who's the boss? It's not Tony Danza, it's you. So take charge, fix your car. And like all good projects, usually I crack a beer, but I gotta go to hockey later and the doctor said I'm turning into a fat hog, so I'm gonna crack a sparkling water. If this helped you out, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next time.